Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto the Ancient of Days. From every nation, all of creation, bow before the Ancient of Days. Every tongue in heaven and earth shall declare your glory. Every knee shall bow at your throne and worship. You will be exalted, O God, and your kingdom shall not pass away, O Ancient of Days. Blessing and honor, glory and power be unto the Ancient of Days. From every nation, all of creation, bow before the Ancient of Days. Every tongue in heaven and earth shall declare your glory. Every knee shall bow at your throne and worship. You will be exalted, O God, and your kingdom shall not pass away, O Ancient of Days. Your kingdom shall reign over all the earth. Sing it to the Ancient of Days, for none can compare to your matchless work. Sing it to the Ancient of Days. Every tongue in heaven and earth shall declare your glory. Every knee shall bow at your throne and worship. You will be exalted, O God, and your kingdom shall not pass away, O Ancient of Days, O Ancient of Days, O Ancient of Days, O Ancient of Days. Hey, old Ron Kenoly song. If you didn't know, you should know though, because he has cool music, good worship songs. I actually don't know much about the guy, but I was thinking about doing that song next for a while, because I started listening to it again recently and learned how to, figured out the chords and stuff. And this morning, I was sent a devotional, and the reference text was Revelation 5. Every creature in heaven and earth, under the earth, and the sea, saying, blessing, honor, glory, might, forever and ever to the Lamb. And I read the devotional this morning, but it was also sent to me from someone else who read that same devotional. But anyway, so it just reinforced the fact that I wanted to do that song. It sounds less climactic with just a guitar, but that's okay. Sometimes that's all you got. Sometimes all we have are our voices. Sometimes all we have are our hearts, and he's just as worthy to receive blessing and honor and glory and power and everything that we could possibly give to him, as we've been discussing recently. But yeah, so I think it's another, just a good back to basics to remember that there is no scenario in our lives where God ceases to be God, where he ceases to be awesome, where he ceases to be all powerful, all good, and all in control. There's no season in our lives where our circumstances, and I was just having a conversation with a friend about this recently, that it is the plan of God working in our lives and the recognition that he is perfecting us, that he is refining us, that, as James tells us, the testing of our faith produces patience, and patience has a perfecting work in us. And it's that work, it's seeing God tinkering in our lives, orchestrating in our lives, that should give us the ability and the awareness to count it all joy when various trials come, when things are confusing, when things are frustrating, especially. Because it's like when you're confused or when you're just not confident in what's going on, in what you're supposed to be doing, that gets to the point of frustration. And it's when we're frustrated that we... As I was saying, frustration when things get in the way of what we believe we're supposed to be doing. Don't mind anything else that's going on. Just pay attention to my voice. Just look into his eyes. Every day, things happen to us that are an opportunity, ultimately, for us to display the character of Christ before others, or just to maintain our integrity behind closed doors. Every day, something happens that reveals to us just how often spiritual warfare goes on. But if we're not paying attention and looking for the spiritual warfare, then we're just going to think it's frustrating, or that it's confusing, or that this shouldn't be happening. But again, God is sovereign. God is beyond... I'm talking louder and I have other background noise because there are other things that are going on now that are in the way of easy talking. And what was I saying? Oh yeah, so if we're not looking for, hey, what is God doing in this? What is God trying to develop in me? If we're not looking for, where can I worship God in the midst of this, then it's not going to happen. Like we talked about last time, we're constantly in a state of regression, constantly moving downhill, moving towards sin, and being bombarded and jackhammered into a rut. Which part of the conversation I was having with that brother of mine recently. If we're looking for the feelings, if we're looking for this outburst of happiness and things making sense to tell us that, God still loves me, or that I'm where I'm supposed to be, then that would fly in the face of, or if we're looking for a raise or a healing to verify to us that God is still God, that we're still his children, and then it flies in the face of all of the times, Job primarily, right? He's the poster child of God makes it to rain on the just and the unjust. So, point being, there is no scenario where he doesn't deserve glory and honor and dominion and strength and power forever and ever. Jesus is always the King. Jesus is always the Lord. And we can trust him. I think that's something that a lot of people, myself included, have forgotten in recent years. It's been so distracted and so dismissed that maybe God's just letting things go, and or that we have to pull ourselves up by the bootstraps. No, we as humans, we as men, we as finite beings, we as weak, as confused as we are, do not have it within us to do anything that produces any lasting effect apart from God, apart from His empowering us and enabling us and guiding us into life everlasting, the way of righteousness, the paths of righteousness. And the sooner that we realize that, the better for us, because then we don't have to worry about how things feel. It's not that we have to force ourselves to be happy and to be thankful, but we can be thankful in all things because He's still God, because there is an outcome. We're about to study through Joseph's life on Sunday mornings at our church. 50-20 vision, retrospect, hindsight, on that side of heaven, we will know as we have been known. So in the meantime, it's just safer, it's just easier to, as they say, let go and let God, to do our best and give God the rest, as I have said before. This life here is so short, so it's such a vapor, 70 years, 800 years maybe. And there's eternity, there's a millennium of life with Christ reigning that we're looking forward to. 10 lifetimes before eternity, and that we have to look forward to. And so, despite how long it can feel in the moment, and despite how painful it can be, and it can be painful, it can be confusing, it can be frustrating, but, the achievements in our life, as the, psychobabblers might like to say, is 10% action and 90% attitude. It's not our circumstances, but the way that we respond to our circumstances that defines who we are. It's not how things are on the surface, but the character of our heart that defines us. It's who is the Lord of our lives that defines us. So those songs are good for that, because they're very upbeat, very declarative. It's just a good reminder. There's so much to live for in this life, but we won't know what it is. We won't know why, unless we know God. That's eternal life, to know God, to know Christ, to know His Word, to be in His will is the safest, most peaceful, most joyful place we can be, because He gives it to us as we seek to live for Him. And don't you forget it. Yeah, that song just kind of excited me. It got my heart rate up, and we don't often do fast songs, up-tempo songs here, so I should probably do more of them. But anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm going to stop. I could go on, as always, but I pray that was an encouragement to you, and may you find that to be true in your life. May God comfort you and instill in you that patience that will complete you here, that He may fill that void, that knowing that He's with you, that knowing that He is the author and the finisher of your faith. May that give you an ambition towards being about your Father's business. And if you don't have a father, to call out to Him, because He's open for adoptions every day. Call in the name of the Lord and you'll be saved. Yeah. Anyway, grace and peace and so forth. Who knows what's going to happen? So I'll see ya. Or maybe I won't.